Hey there, welcome to another episode of Hanging Out with Me in My Kitchen Space. In today's episode, I'm back with a highly requested video. While I was away, I noticed that most of you requested I do the liver recipe, and that's what we're going to be doing today. I'll start off by making some chicken liver, and that is because chicken liver is quite affordable as compared to the other livers. It goes for about 250 shillings per kg, so that is relatively affordable as compared to the 600 for the cow liver. And with me here I have my liver, and I've just washed it and put it on my colander so that it can dry. I have my coriander stems, some ginger, garlic. I have my spices, and I have some curry powder, some black pepper, and one seasoning cube. I have my coriander leaves, some salt, but you may or may not use this salt. I have some soy sauce. I have some cooking oil, my capsicum, and some onions. And without further ado, let's get started. So just in case I forgot to mention, we are making some dry fry onion and liver, and onion is also part of this recipe. So I'll show you how I'm going about it. I'm simply slicing it into onion rings that are not very thin. Natoanisha hapa katikati, then the onion rings, I'm setting them aside. I cut again. So onion is part of this recipe, and that's why I'm also using a very big onion. Put that aside. Cut this again. Remove the center part. Then set this aside. Tell me why capsicum squeeze in 15 bob kamoja kadogo. I have them as well in form of rings, and I'm going to cut them into halves like that so that I can have some huge strips of capsicum like that. And I'm also using a lot. Then for the onions as well, I'm going to cut them into halves so that I can have this, and then we can get started on our cooking. So once my pan is hot enough, I'll go in with a generous amount of cooking oil. I've added about 2 tablespoons. Then once my oil is hot, there are these onions that we were removing from the center. I've chopped them up, and that's what we're going to add. Then I'm going to saute this till they start turning translucent. Then I'll be back. Now that they've started turning translucent, I'll go in with my ginger. And for today's recipe, we are cooking it on very high flame. Then I'll also go in with my coriander stems because I want them to be totally cooked by the time we are done with this recipe. So liver doesn't take long to cook. And now that my ginger is prevalent, I'll go in with my garlic. And you can also notice that we have not used some tomatoes or tomato paste in this recipe, and this is because I want a very dry fry as well. Then I'll give this about a minute, then I'll be back. About a minute later, the kitchen is fragrant. I'll go in with my liver. Then I'm also going to go in with my half onion rings. Then I'll also go in with my pepper so that this is here. Then I'll give this about 2 minutes or so that they can soften up and the liver can also steady, can also become firm. So about a minute later, I can start covering this. Then I'm not covering it up so that isianze kutoa unnecessary water. I do not want any water on this. Then I'm also going to give it a couple of minutes. Then I'll be back to adding my spices. You can see that the progress is very appetizing. So this is the time that I'll go in with my spices, and I'm going to start by crushing in my cubes. Then I'll also add in my other spices. Then I'm going to mix this up. Then I'm also going to add in my soy sauce. And from the look of things, I've added some seasoning cube that has some salt. I've also added my spices that are also having some salt. Finally, I've added my soy sauce, which also has salt. So I don't think I'm going to be adding any more salt. So, and you can see things really look beautiful over here. So I'll give this a couple of minutes again, about 1 to 2 minutes. Then I'll be back to taste if it's ready and if at all I need to adjust any salt. So I'm going to test if my salt is ready and also if the liver is ready by slicing it through. And you can see it's well done. So I've been cooking it for about 6 minutes. Tastes amazing, and I do not need to add any salt. So I'll switch that off. Then I'm going to season this with some coriander leaves. And voila, just like that, our meal is ready. So finally our meal is ready, and I've prepared some fried onion, pepper and liver, and here are some kales, and of course I have my ugali. I've served this with some water because this is quite a dry meal. And yeah, let's begin. And by the way, I also have a recipe on this particular ugali recipe. I'll start with the star of this show. This looks wow. Wow. I'll taste the whole combination, and you just have to try out this with the pepper and the big onions. It slaps. Mm, 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 mm. And that's it for today's episode. I really hope you're going to try this recipe because it's such a banger. In a slap hadi na uko ndani. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.